Hey everybody, this is Jewelyn and my grandma Janet. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a combination plant haul and planting with Jewelyn episode. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about a couple of things, a handful of things that I recently got from my plant collection, as well as planting up all new babies in today's videos. I'm going to be doing a few shifts, but for the most part, they're all new babies. If you enjoy seeing my grandma back on my channel and seeing us up in my patio planting new plants, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. Let's talk about the things that I recently purchased over the weekend. I want to talk about the planters that I got on Friday night, and these are terracottas that I purchased from Daiso, Japan. And I picked this up when I went there with Catherine after our Christmas dinner that we all had all together. That was really nice. Now this particular terracotta is on the softer side. The finish is a little bit softer and the color of the terracotta is a little softer. I pretty much bought them out. I think there were 9 of them and everything in the store is $1.50. So I have a bunch of these which will be all used up in today's video, which is kind of crazy, but yes, they will be all used up in today's video. Let's go ahead and talk about the recent macrame hangers that pretty much came in the mail today. I ordered these over the weekends, and these have beads on them. So if you guys are interested in these particular hangers, I will definitely put the affiliated link in the description box. Now there's beads on the bottom here as well as the top, and then there's also a braid that twists, and I love that. So I wanted something different for my collection because I don't have any ones with beads on them. So we're going to be using this up today, probably with some Hoyas, because I have a lot of Hoyas that I would just love to see this whole DIY section here filled with Hoyas. But I got these and they're very inexpensive, so I'm happy these came in today for today's video. I also have my affiliated link in the description box for this particular garden tray. I use it for all of my planting videos and it stores right on top of my potting bench. I want to make a couple of shifts here before we do actual planting. So the first things I want to do with the terracottas is place my rescue begonias in them, because at the time when I did rescue them, I didn't have no terracottas available for them, and with begonias being very finicky, I'd rather have them in terracottas versus a nice white planter. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick switch out. So grandma, if you can take that off. And they're doing pretty good for rescues. All of my begonias are in terracottas, so I just kind of want to keep it that way because they're a little bit finicky more than a regular house plant, so it's better to have them in a breathable planter. So we're just going to make a quick shift, and I'll use the white planters for other plants in today's video, so that's no problem. But isn't that funny that this planter here is from Daiso, and then the terracottas, which is the first time I've ever seen terracottas in Daiso, Japan, they're being placed in a new Daiso, Japan planter. But I'm glad that I was able to find these planters because I love the finish on them. They're on the softer side and a smoother texture than the ones that you find in garden centers and nurseries, so I love that. And I'm really excited to see how they will do in the new nursery planters in a breathable terracotta versus the white planter. So just a quick shift, and then we're going to free up these white planters for new babies that we'll be planting up in today's video, so that works out fine. But when we originally planted these up, there wasn't any terracottas in my home to go ahead and plant them up in, so here they are. And I think that works out fine. So we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Just a quick little shift here. Yay! So that frees up space for new babies to go into this planter. Abby and I will be heading back to Las Vegas on Friday for the Christmas weekend. We'll come back for 3 nights around there in the middle of next week for my work here in Los Angeles, and head back to Las Vegas for the New Year's weekend, and then come back here for a week and head to Egypt. So it's definitely going to be a very busy upcoming weeks up until the trip. But I'm excited to get all of these new babies into homes. Grandma and I, we did damage over the weekend, Grandma. Well, particularly Saturday. How was it to plant shop in 3 different locations in 3 different parts of Southern California?
Amazing. Fun.
I know, and they were all different.
Yeah.
And they were all good. So Grandma and I had so much fun, and you'll see all of the plants mostly all of them get planted up in today's video. So now that the rescue begonias are in terracottas, there's one thing I want to do for the last planter here. This is another Peperomia that I got as a free plant, I think when I did my $25 challenge haul for West Hollywood. So I want to go ahead and put this guy in here. And this one will go into a white planter. I love variegated leaves in an all white planter. So grandma can just go ahead and make a quick shift. And I would love to see this Peperomia on my shelf inside of my home. I like to rotate them every time I come home and bring them back in. I like to switch it up and they look so cute. Yeah, grandma, on my shelf?
Very.
Yeah. So I think this Peperomia will do well in this white planter. And we are still recovering from the rain. So I'm going to take a look at my collection today and see who needs watering as far as for my houseplants and give them a nice water. But I haven't watered them ever since the rain because it rained hard 2 weeks in a row. So here is the finished look on this one. I think that works out great. And these Peperomias, they do so well in my home. I love that. It's on the dainty side and very small. So we're gonna see what it looks like. If it can fit, grandma, in one of these planters, let's go ahead and put it in here. And I'm gonna try to take babies off of each Hoya, grandma. So if you see one that I can take from, I would love to take a baby if I can get one right here. This is a good one. So I'll take this Hoya and we'll put it in a little nursery planter and plant it up in the end. And I like to take a cutting off of each Hoya. And if you guys are ever interested in any of my plant babies, let me know. I love being able to sell off my plant babies and have more plant friends. And especially like with specialty plants like these, especially if you're a collector like myself and you can't find them, you just never know. Just ask, and you know, I don't mind checking my collection to see what I can take from it. This particular Hoya is very dainty. Like, look at this, grandma. Like, all of it isn't planted in. You have to stick this back inside. So this one is easy to propagate by separation, but I don't want to take too much from it, so very fragile plant. I definitely don't want to touch this one anytime soon, but at least I know with this particular Hoya, it's very easy to separate to get babies from it. Here's what the condition of the plant looks like. I'll go ahead and style it better after it gets settled in, but I think that looks pretty good. I like how it spills over on all sides of the planter. So here's the finished look. I think that looks absolutely adorable. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next baby. The next baby I want to repot is the miniature aeoniums. And these ones are very fragile, but we're just going to transplant them into the terracotta. So I don't think it needs that much soil, grandma, because these are very dainty. And there's lots of soil already in here. So hopefully that does it. Stack the planters. It is getting on the chilly side with the sun going down. But literally when I got out of work today, it was so sunny and hot. I was so excited to come home and do planting videos for the channel. And I'm telling you, the last 2-3 days, I've been experiencing crazy neck pain. I don't know what happened to me, but I woke up 2 days ago with unbearable crazy pain all along my neck. So I want to say thank you to my coworkers in the spa and in my Pilates studio today for working on me, because I was dying. I was supposed to have trained with Shannon today and I canceled on her because I couldn't move my neck from any direction. But after being worked on today, I feel a lot better. But I definitely didn't want to like abuse my body and push myself if I wasn't 100%. So I will definitely give my time for myself, for training, over the next 2 days when I feel better. Grandma, you want to put a little bit more there? These aeoniums are so fragile. I definitely don't want to touch them. This is its permanent home, and that completes the look for this guy. What do you think about the aeoniums, Grandma? They're super cute, but they're very fragile. Yeah. So you don't want to touch them once you plant them up. So on to the next baby. So the next baby I want to repot is my beautiful Philodendron Mycans. Like, look at how stunning this plant is. This plant was part of my Saturday haul. I love this thing so much. I love philodendrons. This is the first time I've ever seen this guy, and I just had to pick it up for my collection. And I can't wait to see this thing trail on me. And I hope that I will be able to get more babies from him when it gets a little bit more traily. This is probably going to be part of my current top 10 when I do another top 10, Grandma. Because this philodendron is on a velvety side. It's dark, and I just love the vibe. That maroon tone to it with the green, that soft velvety green. It's just such a stunning philodendron, and I know I say like I have a favorite and I love them all, but this might be one of my favorite philodendrons. It'll definitely be part of my top 10 houseplants in the next top 10 houseplant episode that I do for the channel. This stole my heart right away. I think the Philodendron Panda and the Philodendron Mycans is like, they're tied. I just love them both so much. Take a look at that. Isn't that so stunning? Love that. And I can't wait to see this thing trail on me. So up next is my Hoya Pink Princess that I got from San Gabriel on Saturday. Funny thing is that this looks exactly like the Royal Hawaiian Purple that I got in Arizona. My grandma and I compared it side by side. So now I don't know if the one I got in Arizona is really a Royal Hawaiian Purple. There was no ID on it. I just, you know, identified it myself. But the trails and everything looks very similar. So I guess we'll have to see what happens in the future. If any of my Hoyas ever give me blooms, I'll be able to help identify any of them. But according to the nursery, this is a pink silver. And let's try to see if I can get a baby from it. Maybe right there, Grandma? What do you think? Can this be a baby? I don't want, no, I want to keep that one there. I don't, no. Ooh. I don't want like a big trail. Okay, fine. Alright, so here's the one that I'm taking from this plant here. We're just going to set it on the side. I always like to take one baby out. And Hoyas are very easy to propagate by separation, so I like to be able to take one and have a little baby of each propagating on the side to become a bigger plant. And if you guys are interested in any of my plants, please reach out to me, Planting with Jewelyn on Instagram. Love the trails on this, Grandma. Isn't this such a stunning plant? Yeah. It's so funny because I have like the exact same plant, and the two Hoyas that I got in San Gabriel, apparently I already have in my collection, but because they look slightly a little bit different, like my Cardosa Tricolor, which we'll work on next, it's a little bit bigger size-wise in the leaves. I wanted to get another one. I don't know. It called me and I had to get it. So I'll do that from time to time where I do repeats of the same plants, just because of a certain characteristic of the plant. So I love this thing. Look at this. How stunning is this? What do you think about this Hoya, Grandma?
Love it.
And also, I finally showed Grandma what a Hoya bloom looks like. What do you think?
Most so you love them because the blooms
is so unique, right? But none of my Hoyas in my collection gave me a bloom yet. So stay tuned. I'll definitely document if any of them give me blooms. But here's another Hoya to add to my collection. which looks very similar to one that I got in Arizona. Here's another one that I have in my collection, very similar to one I already have. I want to say that this is a Hoya. This is a princess variation because of the variegation being on the opposite side. So as you can see, the variegation is in the center. So I want to say it's a princess, a crimson princess, I believe. And a Hoya Cardosa crimson princess. So let's go ahead and see if we can take a baby from the side that's not too big, and that'll take away the trail. Anyone? No, I want to keep that trail. Maybe this one here by your right hand. Take a look at that one. Can that one come up?
Yeah.
Is it a big trail? Small guy? Okay, perfect. Yay! So here's a baby from that one. I'm gonna have a little collection of Hoya babies. Love this one. So the variegation is on the opposite, where the variegation of that cream is in the center. I have another Hoya that the variation of it is on the outside, which I think is the queen. I think the princess is the opposite, where the variegation is in the center. All the varieties. That's why when you collect plants, it just keeps going and going because there's so much variety. Right, Grandma? You see at all the different nurseries you go to. You're like, you don't have this one.
Yeah.
You don't have this one because...
Fun.
Yeah, it's a fun way to collect because it's just never ending with plants. And the cool thing is, Grandma, is that you can propagate, make more babies, sell them off. And as the plant grows, you can see it trail on you, give you blooms, and I love that about plants. So here it is. Look at how adorable that is. Love that. And obviously, if I had all white planters, all of my Hoyas will be in all white planters, but who knows, with the springtime coming up and summertime coming up after Egypt, I'll definitely come back to my collection, and if I can find more white planters at a reasonable price, I will switch them out because I would love to see my variegated babies with trails in all white planters. So here is my Hoya Cardosa Tricolor. I have this plant already, but the leaves are kind of all on the smaller side. So if you take a look at these leaves here, my original Hoya Cardosa Tricolor is this size. But if you take a look here, look at how big the leaves are, Grandma. That's why we got another one. So let's go ahead and see what we can get from this one. Thank you for being my lovely assistant.
Try.
Let's see. I always like to look for a baby that's not going to take too much damage from the plant. This one might be a good one here. Grandma, see if you can get the baby right here without ruining the plant. Oh, and also, by the way, I do want to talk about the babies that Carrie gave me. And we're going to plant them up in nursery planters. So here is the one baby that we just propagated by separation. Yay! And I do upcycle all of my nursery planters for little babies like this. So I'll definitely get a bunch and then plant them up today. I love the big variegated leaves. And I see some all white ones here too. Look at that, Grandma. Look at how stunning that is. All white leaves. So there's some blushy pink happening on here. So the tricolor is coming through. So here is over here. Yep, good enough. So here is the finished look. What do you guys think about that? Love that. So now, Grandma, let's do the last trailing plant there. We should put it in a white planter or
Yes,
or the terracotta. Hard to say, huh? Take it out and let's put it in a terracotta. And we can always put another plant, because I know I have new plants that still don't have homes, waiting in the wings to be planted up. And loosen up the soil a little bit. So this is a senecio that Julie and I got when we went plant shopping together for the first time. So Julie wanted this plant in my bathroom. I'll probably put it in my bathroom. What do you think, Grandma, next to my string of hearts? Okay, I have to send Julie a picture of this. I'll probably see her today. But here you go, guys, in Terracotta Planter. Now let's go ahead and I want to see if there's any more plants I can plant up before we do Carrie's cuttings. So I figured out the last planting I want to do before we do the babies. So I have my Peperomia Ripple here, which I got on Sunday in West Hollywood. These are very finicky. My grandma is going to put the last white planter that I reserved on the side for this one here. So very, very careful. Look at Evie, she's acting crazy over here. And look at how you have your apron, Grandma. It's not even tied. Uh-oh, the babies fell, Evie. We have to pick it up. What do you want from Grandma? Evie bosses both of us around. Yes, my love, I see you. Okay, let me take a look. The Ripple is very finicky. This will live in my bathroom with my other ripples. So here's my Peperomia Ripple in a white planter. And all of my ripples live in the bathroom because that's where they do best. Grandma, does this look familiar? Like the ripple that you killed. That was my favorite Peperomia Ripple in the bathroom. We will not water this one. This one is a succulent type of plant where it doesn't need a lot of water. Here's the last plant that we're going to plant up today. Oh, actually not the last plant because I'm going to get the African mask, Grandma, and put it in this last planter. Oh, it's stuck in there. Okay. You can finish that up while I get the African mask. Were you handling the channel, Grandma? Holding it down? It was planting with Janet for 20 seconds. Here's my third African mask. This is my favorite alocasia, but the one that always dies on me. So I think with this one, we're definitely going to put it in a terracotta, which all of my previous ones were in terracottas. So let's go ahead and use the last planter that we got from Daiso Japan for this one. And then loosen up the roots. This is such a finicky plant. I'll leave it in my patio when we're gone and see what happens. But wow, Grandma, did we do some planting or what today? So here it is, the last terracotta for this baby. What do you think, Grandma?
Perfect.
Looks good, right? So let's go ahead and talk about the ones that Carrie gave me over my visit to feature her on my channel. She gave me a bunch of little babies. And so this is from her Kalancho, her Kalanchoe mother plant. So we have a bunch of these. They're all rooted up. Here's the biggest one. So we can go ahead and place them all together in one. And she also gave me very tiny small babies. They all have roots though. You just have to be very careful. Here's the last. So here's some baby gasterias that she gave me. And I think this one came from her bigger one, and then these were from her other one. I know I have some gasterias in my collection from my bundle, but I'm just gonna put them all together in one planter. So here is what they look like all planted up. So they will go on my propagation little section next to the left side of my potting bench. The last ones that she ended up giving me, and these are from one of her plants that she featured in her patio, and I don't have these, so I'm really excited to add these to the collection. These babies will all stay on my propagation station until they get bigger. So here's the guest areas planted up. Thank you, Carrie, so much. And it is getting a little chilly as we get to this part of the video. So you can figure out these babies. Now, while my grandma's finishing that one up, we are going to plant up all of the little babies that I've had pulled out from my collection into little planters. So I have a variegated Hoya compacta that is rooted. I'm going to plant this up today. I also have the string of coins silver dollar plant. I also have the silver dollar vine. They're all rooted up, so they are gonna go in one planter. Okay, so here's what they look like planted up. So you can just put it back in this one, Grandma, it's fine. I have a bunch of recycled nursery planters. We're just going to give each of them a home, and they will live in my greenhouse until either I gift them or sell them off. But I like being able to pull a baby out from each of my babies when I plant them up if I can. Here's another one from the Hoya Crinkle 8, another baby that has roots on it as well. So just doing some propagation planting, and then we're going to save our second project of the video right after we're done planting up these guys. So these babies will again live in my greenhouse until they get a little bit bigger. I sell them off, I gift them. I love pulling from my Hoyas, my Peperomias, Philodendrons whenever I can. So here's one baby. Here's another one, Grandma. They can go all together. Those are the silver dollar vines.
Where?
You can use this one. It's fine. We got one here. Here's another one. I have smaller ones here. This one will go for my Hoya compacta, variegata. Put it in a smaller one. That's fine. Here's the Hoya Cardosa Tricolor, planted up in a nursery planter. And then one from the Crinkle 8. So we'll leave that in there. Do you rather work with your hands, Grandma, than a shovel? Grandma thinks the shovel is too slow. And the soil is still wet from the rain, so these won't get any water anytime soon. But this is part of being a plant enthusiast, plant collector. Propagating is all part of the fun of it all. And I love being able to get babies from the collection. I think my grandma did all of the babies. My grandma stepped away because my mom called. I'm just gonna plant up the last two Hoyas here. I definitely wanted to go ahead and just plant them up in today's video, because if I don't do it now, I don't know when I'm gonna do it. And when you propagate from your collection, it's one of these things where once you do it, you don't have to touch it again, and it'll just grow into a bigger plant. So here is my compacta, variegata. I have my Cardosa Tricolor that I want to plant up as well. The soil is all wet from the rain, so nobody will get watered. They're good to go. So there's that one planted up. And last one. So here is a little baby of the Crinkle 8 that I wanted to plant up in today's video. A little baby cutting. Okay. Yay! Another baby. How adorable is that? A bunch of babies planted up in propagation. Welcome back, Grandma. I see you tied your apron.
Yes, I did.
Okay, go ahead and pull from the bottom. We're gonna take apart the Sansevieria, see what we can get. Ooh, it feels like it's been in here for a while. Yay! That can go away. And let's see what we can take apart. I'm gonna lift it up and go ahead and... Yeah, go ahead and undo everything. So we're just going to expose the root ball of the whole plant and see what we can get from it. I'll keep the ones I want to keep, and I can go ahead and sell off the rest. I know a bunch of you guys wanted some, and I did sell a few babies from my original one. So we'll see what we can get from this one. And I don't mind combining the ones that I want to keep together from my first one and my second one. I love this plant so much. I repurchased it again. Here's one we can take. Maybe. Not so sure. No.
Here.
Okay. So let's go ahead. Careful because we need the roots. So you have to get way down into the root ball and slowly separate so that each cutting, whatever I do take apart from the plant, will get roots. No, that looks, no. That looks, I think, Grandma, I think we should take from right here. This could be a good one right here. But it's so wide. Look at that. This cutting.
Well, it's a goofy plant. The thing is so hard and straight out.
Grandma, but this is a very sought out plant. I think this is a good one to take from right here. So what we can do is expose here and then take from here. Yeah, take from here. This is gonna have to be one. Okay.
Here's one too.
Careful. Get some roots in it, Grandma.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much from it. No.
No, this one is easily come out. Yeah.
Okay, that's enough. Because I don't want to ruin the plant too much. Okay, so I'm going to keep this, guys. I mean, this could be another one too, Grandma, if I wanted to, right here. But I don't want to take too much from the plant. Here's another one right here, look. Keep it, yeah? With the mother plant.
No, take them out. With too much, the mother plant.
Okay, I just don't want to ruin it.
They use a knife to break it off.
Okay. Alright. So this one, what we can do, we can experiment with this one because with the Sansevieria, the snake plants, if you put the bottom in water, it'll go ahead and give us roots. So I'm going to do it for this one. I'm going to take a snip right here in the center so that both of them have roots. So here's one cutting here, and here's another cutting. So we can go ahead and look at this. These are like not the greatest cuttings, but it's still a cutting of this plant, and they're really big cuttings. So this one too is another cutting. So we have 1, 2, 3, and the smallest one here. Also, what is this? We have this guy too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into nursery planters, and we'll do it after a day or two when this is calloused over. So we're just gonna reuse this planter. There's a hole in it, so we can go ahead and put some soil back in the white planter. So now I'll have 2. I can always sell off from the other mother plant, and then I can combine it when that happens. But for now, it'll stay in a separate planter. So here's a quick overview of all of the babies that we planted up in today's video. They are all new babies that I picked up, whether it was in the beginning of the month or over the weekend, and not including Carrie's propagated babies and the babies I propagated from my collection. As you can see, my Sansevieria stands out very proud and loud here amongst all this lush goodness. I got a bunch of different Hoyas from several different locations, from Arizona as well as West Hollywood and San Gabriel. I got some Chinatown plants in here. I have my 3rd African mask here, along with an ivy which my grandma wanted to get for the collection, a new Philodendron which I've never had in my collection, and the Peperomia obtusifolia marble. I love that. And here's the aeonium that Julia and I split. And again, tons of Hoyas, and I'm obsessed with today's plant gang. So that's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my grandma get her hands dirty once again. And if you guys are interested in our fall or winter collection or any plant cuttings if you live in the United States, my merchandise is worldwide. My plants are only for the United States. Definitely reach out to me on Instagram at Planting with Jewelyn. Welcome to my channel. Hit the subscribe button and bell to be notified whenever I do an upload. I try to do daily uploads for this channel. I'll see you guys soon. You can find more on my blog at ilovejewelyn.blogspot.com. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye!